back. This next reading is for folks in the collective who are single or in separation from their divine counterpart. So this is definitely feeling like it's a reading for folks who are single, but what I keep hearing is like a to be continued energy. So you've been single for a while, or you've been separated from the person who you believe is your soulmate, your twin flame, your twin soul, however it resonates, right? Just a connection that essentially you have not been able to shake off or move on from. So that's the energy that I was receiving when I was pulling for this reading, and I think that's the way I'm going to call it. So unfortunately, if it doesn't resonate right now, so if folks have been single and you're like, I don't know if I've met my person, or I don't know if I've met somebody who has been able to bring out such a spark or a connection out of me, then you probably haven't, you're not experiencing the energy of what I'm pulling today. But if I am doing this type of read, this also means that there are many people in the collective right now who are going through a twin flame or a soulmate journey, and essentially have been undergoing a period of separation for growth, for transformation, to awaken you to your highest, truest self, but also put you back on your spiritual path. So if this is your first time hearing about twin flames, twin souls, just, stay in touch with stay in touch with La Lobita, stay in touch with me. I like to just share a lot of information. Personally, like the twin flame stuff has gotten a little out of control, a little woo-woo, a little corporatized, but I like to use the term twin souls. It's essentially the person, it's a deep bond that when, many times when you are a twin flame, a twin soul, you have experienced lifetimes with this individual. And so when you come into contact with this person, right, it awakens you in a way that is so unexplainable. And, I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of folks who have been going through this journey. So it seems like, there are many more people in the Rancho Collective who might be in this type of journey. And so what I want to let you all know before we start is, definitely, I guess it's not even what I want to tell you, what Spirit wants to tell you is, they feel your pain. Like this is if you are on this journey, this is a very, very difficult journey to be on. And so Spirit is definitely affirming. And so, let's go ahead and dive in. What I was able to do here was pull for the entire energy of what is going on, right? What is Spirit wanting to relay? And I also have an area here where this was feeling more of like the masculine side, and this is more of the feminine side. So for folks who are in same-sex relationships or don't identify with one or the other, please just try to listen to the message and see which energy is more relatable. And if it's not relatable, then it's not relatable. You know what I mean? And so there we go. Here we go. So right away, what I knew this was, I was like, this is definitely a soulmate. This is a soulmate. This is a very strong connection. This is a very, very strong connection, and this is an old connection. This is a connection that requires at this time separation, because there is a lot of healing energy needed. So what I am feeling and I am seeing, it's like having to give back your favorite toy. And I'm not calling your divine counterpart a toy, but it's having to give up. It's like almost like I see a little girl, a child, having to give up their favorite teddy bear, right? And not knowing, maybe like the teddy bear is broken right now, or it needs to go get fixed or something like that. And again, I'm not trying to say that one person or the other is broken. What I just mean is it's like that. It's having to give up one of your most cherished things, right? That the person that gives you a lot of comfort. And so Spirit's affirming that, yes, you know, this is, they totally know that this is a separation that is causing a lot of heartache, but just know, right, where there is pain, there's also healing energy. Where there is breaking, there is healing coming in. And beneath that card, you have, it's a time to give and rather than take, which means, you know, oftentimes when I pull this card, it means it's a time to focus on yourself. It's a time to focus on your jobs, your family, your community, right? There's so many different ways that you can give your time and energy, right? While this separation is happening, right? While there is healing coming in through separation, right? It's so funny. I'm getting the release twice. I have it here. Oh, in case you can't see it, I got the release. I pulled the release card twice, y'all. So this is definitely going back to the teddy bear analogy. This is something Spirit's saying you have to release, right? You have to surrender. You have to release. A lot of times, folks might be in separation, but they are still in what I call chaser energy. So they are still in communication. They are saying, we're going to be friends, but you know, there's the emotional intimacy element that is usually reserved for relationships. Maybe some folks are in separation and they're still, you know, being a side piece on the side, or you know, just doing the friends with benefits kind of thing. And so Spirit is saying, cut it out. You have to release. Again, how is healing energy going to be coming in when you are still attached, whether it is emotionally, physically, or maybe it's time to cut some cords, right, in order to bring in that healing energy. And so I'm also seeing the abundance. So it definitely seems like this is a time to release this bond, because you have to create your abundance. And abundance isn't necessarily money. It can be, you know, putting that time into community work. It can be putting that time into creativity, things that you value, things that are going to bring about the next opportunity for you, that may bring about abundance, or it may connect you to the people that you're supposed to be, you know, on your soul's mission. Or it might be like, hey, I'm just going to hustle. I am just going to, you know, invest my free time in creating a side hustle, you know, whatever it is but just Spirit's showing, right, that with that energy, with releasing that energy, you're creating that space for healing energy and abundance. Okay. I am seeing duality, right? A duality, and underneath is a new romantic cycle begins. So folks, especially if you are on this journey, y'all, like, you have to understand that there are like push-pull dynamics. There are cords. There are soul ties for folks. And so a lot of the times is when you meet this person, especially if you're on the twin flame or twin soul journey, this person is your mirror. This person is the yin to your yang, right? And vice versa. They are your, right? You can see it as like they are the sun, you are the moon, right? You all are essentially mirroring to each other, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so a lot of the times, separation happens because we're not in our balanced energies, right? I'm seeing a need for duality. I'm also seeing this card for folks who can't see it. A new relationship, a new romantic cycle begins. I'll find out right now if it necessarily means with this person. It might be with a whole other counterpart. And as mentioned, is sometimes Spirit or your higher self will essentially go through a separation period so that you all can grow in your own ways. And oftentimes, you know, that does mean finding a soulmate like energy, someone who is going to help you balance out your masculinity, your femininity, and move into duality. And sometimes you learn this through relationships, and other times, you know, you might need a new partner to help you feel safe in your feminine, right? To help you hone into your masculine energy, right? If you feel like you are two in one and not the other. So I'll get back to doing a second pull for this card, because I'm curious myself as what kind of relationship that is. It is Valentine's Day after all. It was the full moon after all. So again, the full moon in Leo amplifying, right? Full moons alone amplify a lot, but as y'all see, we got the full moon in Leo card. What I'm seeing here is, you know, a lot of this separation has to do with, it's so funny because I got the shadow over here. It has to do with the shadows. It has to do with unresolved anger. It has to do, right, with the lack of merging your masculine and your feminine. A lot of times when we are in our distorted feminine or masculine energy, pride is a big way to essentially cop out. That's what I'm hearing. Pride is used to cop out, right? I don't want to apologize. Oh, you know, this connection doesn't faze me whatsoever. Well, guess what? Those of y'all being proud, cards say BS, right? If this wasn't YouTube, you already know what I'd be saying. So Spirit says BS, right? Folks have to put in the work, right? If you want that spiritual union, it's so funny because I did the last reading, and the last reading called a lot of for healing to bring folks close. And for folks have to understand, again, going back to the mirroring, is if it is your divine counterpart, they are going to mirror the good, the bad, the ugly, the shadow that you have, the shadow and the dark parts of yourself that you have dug, right? And for a lot of folks, it's unresolved anger. It's unresolved anger, and underneath anger is grief, right? So again, what is the healing energy that needs to come in? But there's also a lot of pride. There's a lot of pride, and what I'm getting definitely being affirmed now is, right, there's a lot of distortion, and so you have to release. You have to release, y'all. You have to release. We got the healer card. You got to heal. This is a time for healing. And all right, yeah, if this incoming relationship is meant to help you heal. Yeah, spiritual cleansing. You need a cleanse. The collective needs to cleanse, y'all. Some of the time, if you've been following me, you already know. Y'all already know. All right, let's see. We're going to go ahead and pull the Hidden Truth Oracles. What are they feeling? What are your divine counterparts wanting to know about one and the other? As y'all can see, I am so chismosa about this reading right now. And yeah, so underneath everything is the shadow and the need for spiritual cleansing. So yeah, a lot of times, right, if the shadows are too activated, two shadows, what are two shadows gonna do, right? Repel each other. So you got to bring about that healing, that spiritual cleansing. All right, so let's go ahead and start ladies first, feminine energy. So the message for the feminines, or folks embodying the feminine energy, their message is look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way, right? What is activating the shadows? What is activating the hurt? Right? You gotta heal that wound. I'm getting longing and desire card underneath, right? The feminine is longing for this connection. This feminine has not let go. You see the belief card. You have not let go of your belief. And, you know, Spirit's not disagreeing with you. But it's also saying that if you believe, what does embodying belief mean? Are you willing to let this go? And do you trust this journey that you are being led to? Okay? what your subconscious is saying, this is your subconscious, or I'm sorry, you're not your subconscious, your higher self is, you and I were too young. So maybe y'all met, like, you know, what do they say? Too early, we were too young, it was too early. Right guy, wrong time. What is that? I don't know. And then I wish things could be different. So definitely the energy of longing. And what spirit is also, the last card you have is passion flower. So now is the time, going back to the abundance card, now is the time to really give, but give to your passions, give to yourself, look inside yourself, pour into yourself. But tap into your passions, right? Tap into the things that bring about joy. All right. Let me check the time real quick. All right. This is going to be longer, but happy Valentine's Day, y'all. For the males or those, oh my Lord, I'm going to get banned over here. For those of y'all who identify as the masculine, or just want to know what is the masculine, what is the energy of the masculines in, they are in a space of reflection, y'all. And again, like they're, again, for the feminine, right? While there is longing, you gotta give space so that reflection, so that a reflection can happen, so that folks are, you know, the quote, distance makes the heart grow fonder, right? Folks aren't going to be able to reflect unless there's real separation from this connection that is going to bring about reflection, not only for the masculine, but for both of you. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. So that's what the masculine is feeling. I'm going to keep blocking this because I don't want to get banned from YouTube. Physical attraction. So there is a deep physical attraction from the masculine for his divine feminine counterpart. But underneath you see the motherwort. And it's a medicinal plant. So I have to hide both of those illustrations. But motherwort is a healing plant. It helps bring about healing and introspection, depending on how you work with it. But, you know, that's just to let you know that the masculine needs time, right? The attraction is there, but there's more depth needed for the masculine at this time. There is more, there is healing needed for both of you. And so they are in a space of reflection. They are trying to figure out their calling. So just like you're being asked to believe, they are, you know, right now what they're trying to find is their calling, their purpose. And so just know, right, in order for divine spiritual connections to work, because they are high caliber vibrations, relationships, they have a bigger calling here on earth. And so, yeah, for folks who identify with the twin souls, it's knowing, right? But sometimes you might know your calling, but they don't. And so make that space for your masculine. What his higher self wants to tell you at this time is, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. So definitely know that there is a lot of reflection going on. They are, you know, they are learning through this relationship, through this union, and through this separation. And what he wants to tell you is, I left before you could leave me. So definitely a lot of shadow, right? A lot of past hurts and a lot of healing that's needed right now. So let me go ahead and end with one more card, just because I don't want to end this Valentine's Day reading in a in a very shocking way. Emotions are running high, y'all. You know, definitely emotions running high, and your commitment is being tested at this time. So, you know, bring about joy. Spirit's asking you, you know, be your own healer, and be the person who brings you joy. All right, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope this helped.